Yo, how's everybody doing today? It's your boy Airboy, and I am back doing another FanBoyAaron review. And today, I'm going to be taking a quick little look at the Jurassic Park Amber Collection, Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon. And prior to use, before we look at the fig, we look at the box. As you can see, if you saw my last review, the exact same box design as the Raptors. It's Pteranodon, Jurassic Park 3. Nothing really interesting on any of the box parts except for the back. Pteranodon, Jurassic Park 3, stumbling into the birdcage, presents new unforeseen dangers for Dr. Alan Grant after he unwillingly lands on Isla Sorna. Seeming to emerge out of nowhere, the Pteranodon proves to be a perilous predator both in and out of flight. Alright, that pretty much covers the box. I'll take a quick look here at the Pteranodon. Honestly, I love Jurassic Park 3 the most because mainly because I like the new dinosaurs they introduced. The Spinosaurus, the new raptor designs, the Ceratosaurus, and of course the Pteranodon. I mean, they did show the Pteranodon briefly in The Lost World, but this is a much different design than the one they used for that first movie. And honestly, I think it's a superior design. I do prefer this look overall for the Pteranodon. Let me get him in up close. And like the Raptors, he comes with a stand, which is handy because more often than not, you'll be displaying this guy in like a flight pose. Let's get him up close here so we can see that lovely molded detail and paintwork. Because they did an absolute stellar job with this guy. Very screen accurate. His beady yellow eyes. The red and yellow markings all over his face. The crest, the little teeth inside the beak. The underbelly, mine has a little paint chipping there, but you know, no big deal. Let me take a look at the wings. He's got a decent wingspan. I'll measure it at the end of the video. See, the wings have their own markings. That looks really good. Little bits of red all throughout his paint job here. Like, they did a really good job with this guy. The beak can open pretty wide and show the inside of his mouth. Yeah, I'm going to turn the light on real quick so you can see. Even the inside is painted. Looks really, really good. I often wonder why they kept changing the Pteranodon design. Because the one in the Lost World was okay. This one is my favorite. I do not care for the Lost World design for the Pteranodon. They should have just stuck with this one. Why mess with a formula if it works, you know? My only real issue with the figure is that the wings are made of this soft rubber. And, yeah, it might get hard and break down over the course of a few years. But, you know, it's one of those time will tell kind of situations. I mean, it wouldn't have looked as good, but I think cloth probably would have worked a little better. Like fully posable arm pieces with cloth wing membranes, that probably would have done more posability wise. Speaking of posability, let's go ahead and cover that. As you saw, the beak can open and close. The head, if I can get it to work with me, can turn on a hinge there. It's super tight on mine, so I try to be careful with it. You can also turn here, and if you want to, you totally can. Angle. Oh, you can also rotate here and here, so you can have the neck at a different position if you want, like that. The wings, they are on a hinge at the base, so they can go up and down like a flying motion, which is real nice. The clawed hands can rotate as well as move up and down. There is bendy wires in the wings. So let's see if I can find them. Okay, there's one there. And there's one here within the main part of the wing itself. It ends right about there. Let me straighten it out a bit. There's also some body movement. It can go all the way around, but due to the way the wings are attached to the bodies, or the body, you're limited a bit. So he's got a bit of an ab crunch. The legs can rotate around. There is a hinge there. The knees can rotate around. A hinge there. The feet can rotate around. And there's also a hinge there. Posability is a little limited on this guy, but more often than not you'll have him in flying poses on his stand. But if for any reason you don't want to, it is kinda possible to put him in a walking stance on all four legs. It's kinda doable, but not really, just due to the way everything is like positioned. You just wanna, historically, or from a scientific accurate standpoint, the wings are supposed to fold back. Unfortunately, you don't get enough leanway. But in the movie, they did bend upwards in like a folded up position like that when he was walking on the ground. It doesn't look that elegant here on the figure, but yeah, it's the closest thing you're gonna get. I'll go ahead and do that. So yeah, there you go. Here's your Pteranodon walking on the ground. Again, it's not the best it could be, but honestly, as far as Pteranodon figures, flying reptile figures in general go, this is probably as good as they're gonna get. Fully posable wings that aren't solid plastic. Okay, maybe not fully posable, but better than the solid plastic wings on previous Pteranodon toys that I've ever had. Kind of tricky getting them to keeping all 4 feet on the ground. Maybe I should play his wings out a little bit. There we go. Looks like he's barely walking on his tippy toes, but yeah, I'll take what I can get. Come on, stand up straight. Alright, let's do some comparisons. Stand up straight. Again, it's better to leave them in a flying pose, because it can be difficult to get them on all fours and have it look, natural. Alright, figure comparisons. Here he is next to my Beast of the Mesozoic Velociraptor. You see how that works. Here he is next to Spyro the Dragon. There he is next to Predator. So you can see how that looks. And last but not least, here he is next to one of the figures from my last review, the JP3 male Velociraptor from the Amber collection. And they look pretty good together. Alright, I'm going to straighten out his wings here and get him on a stand so I can do the measurement and end this. Yeah, despite my issues with the wings, I will say this is leaps and bounds better than any other flying reptile toy I've ever had. And flying reptiles are among my favorite prehistoric animals, so I've had a few over the years. Like when I was a kid, like I mentioned in my last review, I played with toy dinosaurs all the time. It always upsetted me that the Pteranodons or other flying reptiles I used always had solid plastic wings that couldn't pose worth a damn. Like, it's not perfect on this guy by any means, but it's a hell of a lot better. I remember back when I was little, I used to have the original Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon toy. I loved that thing. It broke on me, and I was so upset about it. There we go. Now, let me bring up the camera a little bit. Now, let's see, where was I? Oh, before we close off before I close off the review, I gotta do what I always do. Now, from the tip of his beak to the end of his feet, he measures at about, I say maybe a little over 8.5 inches. And his wingspan, from tip to tip, about 19 inches. And at the time of release, he was going for about $30, $35. And you can find them pretty much anywhere online. I don't know if you can find them in too many stores. I think you could probably find them at a Target. But you can find them basically anywhere online. You can find them on Target, eBay. I got mine off of BigBadToyStore.com. Now, do I think he's worth the price? Do I think he's worth hunting down? Yes, I do. He is a very beautifully designed figure, much like the Raptors. And despite his, flaws, easily the best flying reptile figure you will ever have. Like any dinosaur toys you might have had as a kid don't compare to this thing. And I think that pretty much does it for this review. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave a nice comment, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I will catch you all in the next review when I get back to reviewing Transformers. Until then, I'll see you all around. Bye-bye.